Welcome back to Xbox Corner, my name's Luke, and in today's review we're going to be checking out Pupperazzi running on the Xbox Series X, and this one is a first-person photography game where you play as a freelance photographer in a world primarily populated by dogs. Your objective? To snap photos of the puppers going about the daily doggy lives and build your dognet social media following. But is this one the dog's knackers or just a plain old pile of poop? Well, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for deals, reviews, Game Pass news and graphical comparisons, and let's find out. So the story in Pupperazzi is a little on the loose side, but it essentially sees you, a pupperazzo, arriving at an unnamed town populated by doggos. Upon your arrival, you're greeted by this little chappie decked out in his cute little fisherman getup, and then you receive your very first assignment requiring you to snap a shot of him and post it to Dognet, this world's version of a social media platform. Now, you may be surprised to hear that that's about as deep as the story gets with this one. There's no overarching plotline to follow, and the game is really just about getting out there, exploring its various locations, and taking pictures of dogs enjoying themselves and going about their daily lives. Each time you visit a new location, you'll receive contracts from people which do add a little bit of lore to the world, but Pupperazzi is mainly just focused around the gameplay, and if I'm being honest, I would have liked to have had a bit more of a storyline with this one, if only to add a little bit more presence to the world and make it feel a little bit more real to the player, but as you observe all of our canine friends performing various activities, it's quite easy to make up your own internal dialogue about what they're thinking and saying to each other, and in a way this is as true to life as any storyline could ever be. So like its storyline then, gameplay in Pupperazzi is kept simple, and if you've ever played any other titles in this particularly niche genre such as Pokemon Snap or Umurangi Nation, then you'll likely know just what to expect with this one. Now, the basic premise of the game has you completing contracts or requests for clients, and each time you enter into one of the game's areas you'll receive around 5 or 6 of these, with an additional mystery request revealed by finding a green envelope hidden somewhere within the level. These requests can be as simple as taking a picture of a specific breed of dog or a dog performing a certain action, to using a particular filter or lens for a picture, and generally the requests are very easy to complete. However, there are a few trickier ones called photo challenges, and these contain some very specific parameters for their completion. Now, I found the overall variety of the requests to be quite decent, and I particularly enjoyed the ones where you had to find the doggos situated in unique scenarios, as it kind of reminded me of those Where's Wally puzzle books where you have to search the location and identify the target. I also really liked all the different ways in which you could interact with the dogs, like petting and feeding them to get them to follow you, dressing them up in different clothing, and finding toys and other gadgets scattered about in the levels for them to interact with, such as frisbees and sticks for them to chase, or if you're feeling a little bit mean, robotic hoovers to scare them with. Now, each time that you complete a request, you'll generally receive one of 2 rewards, the first being additional followers on Dognet, which can also be increased by uploading photos to the platform, and the second being golden bones, or bonks as they're known in game, and these can also be found scattered about in levels. As your follower count increases, you'll unlock new additional areas as well as different times of day to visit in existing areas, and both followers and requests also unlock new lenses and camera filters which can then be purchased from vending machines with your bonks, which in turn allow you to complete the additional requests requiring you to use said filters or lenses. Now, I really liked how each filter changed up the colour scheme of the level, giving it different moods and allowing you to get a little bit creative with your shots, and there's also enough variety to the lenses to give you a decent amount of choice over the style of image you want to capture, but not too much that you feel overwhelmed by them. In addition to these, you can also unlock several other functions for your camera, such as a selfie mode, which actually turns out to be a little bit horrifying after you discover that you're actually playing as a walking camera, a flash bulb allowing you to light up dark areas and dazzle the doggos, and a film shuffler which randomises your selected filter after every picture, which is nice if you don't want to have to manually change them every time. Now, there's not really a whole lot more to say when it comes to the gameplay with this one. It's all just about having fun and experimenting with your camera, dressing up dogs in silly outfits, and working on building your followers to unlock stuff, and it'll likely only take you around 2 or 3 hours to complete the game and see the end credits roll. After this though, like me, you'll no doubt still have a bunch of lenses and filters to unlock, as well as the Puppepedia to complete and additional times of day to visit for each location, so there is still a reasonable amount of content in this one, although I didn't really think that Pupperazzi was all about the content, and I just found it to be a really casual and chilled out game. There's no rush to do anything in particular, you can explore areas at your own pace and take as many pictures as you like, and generally just enjoy interacting with all your favourite pooches. With regards to issues with the game, there's actually very little I can criticise here. Despite its simplicity, the game plays really well, and I'd have to say that my main complaint would be that regardless of the time of day you select, there's actually very little that changes inside of levels aside from the location of some of the dogs and your lists of requests in them. I really would have liked to see more unique events or scenarios to discover at different times of day, which would have added a little more replayability to the game, or even just a few more puzzles to solve or secrets to find. Overall though, Pupperazzi is definitely still a fun game to fill a few hours with, and if you like dogs, then you'll probably like this game. So graphically speaking, Pupperazzi is not the most visually impressive game on the Xbox, but it certainly has a visual style which perfectly matches its charm, and its world has a kind of vibrant cartoony aesthetic to it which really works, especially when it comes to changing up the lens filters, as the pastel colour schemes work really well with them, allowing for a lot of visual variety. When it comes to the dogs, the developers have done a great job of capturing the characteristics of each breed, while at the same time somehow making every single one of them as cute as possible, and I really thought the stylised art direction was the way to go with this one, rather than trying to make things look realistic. Now I did encounter several visual bugs with the game, which were mostly noticeable when taking pictures or changing the time of day, and these kind of just really messed up the on-screen colours, but thankfully they only really occurred on the map screen and the little Polaroid which appears after taking a picture, so they didn't really affect gameplay and should hopefully be fixed with a day 1 patch. So on the audio side of things, I'd have to say it's pretty simple stuff when it comes to the sound effects. We get a variety of dog barks for the different breeds and a few different sound effects when taking pictures or for the vehicles that we find in the game, so nothing outstanding but nothing really to complain about either. As you'd expect, the game's soundtrack consists of happy sounding tunes which all have a bit of a quirky edge to them and help the game maintain a consistently cheerful atmosphere, and while I'm not really known for my cheerful disposition, rather surprisingly the tunes never really got irritating to me, and I actually found them to be the types of songs which you accidentally find yourself nodding or humming along to as you're playing the game, though of course that was not something that I did. So the final verdict on this one then, and I have to say that I actually enjoyed Pupperazzi much more than I thought I would. I played Nation quite a while back now, and that game has quite a serious tone to it, which is totally the opposite of what you get with Pupperazzi, but I think the combination of being a dog lover and getting to interact with the world's doggo population and the relaxing nature of its gameplay was just the break I needed from all the action-oriented games I've been playing lately. While it is quite a short game, I think that without having a solid storyline to follow, the act of fulfilling requests and simply building up your follower count would most definitely overstay its welcome if the game were any longer, and while I do think that there could have been a little bit more creativeness put into its level designs and the time of day changes, there is still plenty of enjoyment to be had with this one, and it's one of those games which can be played alongside other games and dip back into every once in a while. When it comes to a rating though, Pupperazzi is going to be getting a solid 7 out of 10 from me. It's a charming little title which doesn't overcomplicate things, lets the player just do their own thing, and generally just welcomes creativity, exploration and interaction with its world of woofers. So are you going to be dipping into this doggy-filled domain, or will you be playing something else this weekend? Perhaps a spot of Rainbow Six Extraction? Let us know down in the comments section below. And as always, if this review helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews, deals, Game Pass roundups and graphical comparisons. For now though, thanks once again for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks everyone, take care.